Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, did I hear you correctly? Did you say that the reconciliation bill is the most extraordinary legislation you've ever seen? I started with a straight shot. No warm-up, no filters. I wanted clarity from Fed Chair Jerome Powell, and so did the American people. In today's Senate Banking Committee hearing, we didn't get fluff. We got fireworks. This wasn't just another dull DC exchange. This was a rare moment when the nation's top economic mind was pressed hard on the dollar, tariffs, inflation, and the unknowns clouding our economy. Tell me what the bond market's telling you, and explain why we've seen weakness in the dollar lately.
Tell me what tell me what the bond market's telling you.
Bond market's fine now, functioning well. It's pricing, it's reacting to economic news. There's adequate liquidity. Rates have come down pretty significantly from where they were a couple months ago. So I think inflation expectations have come down a bit from April, and in general, the bond market is functioning well.
Okay. Explain to me why we have seen in the last few months weakness in the dollar.
The bond market's stable, he said. But the dollar? It's been sliding. I didn't let it go. With geopolitical chaos everywhere, from war zones to trade wars, you'd expect the dollar to be soaring, right? Not exactly. Powell gave a textbook answer. Challenging circumstances, market digestion, multiple possible explanations. But you and I know something deeper is going on. And I'm here to break it all down for you. Hey, if you're finding this kind of raw, unfiltered content valuable, make sure you hit that subscribe button.
That's a great question. And of course, the Treasury Department is responsible for the role of the dollar. So I don't know. I think I would go back to the thought that markets have been digesting an unusually challenging set of circumstances, and have reacted the way they've reacted. The dollar's kind of stabilized now. In fact, it's moved back up here in the last couple of weeks a bit. There are plenty of people who are still writing that the dollar is still overvalued. We don't have a view on that, of course, but I wouldn't really have an opinion on exactly why it is where it is.
We dive deep and we don't hold back. Let's talk tariffs and inflation. What does history tell us? This is where things really got interesting. Powell admitted, we're flying blind. Tariffs are being floated that are way bigger than anything we've seen in recent years. There's no modern precedent. He said we need to be humble in our estimates. Translation? They don't know how badly this could hit your wallet. And I pushed further. If businesses pass on the cost to consumers, inflation spikes.
I want to talk for a few minutes about tariffs and inflation. What does history tell us about tariffs and its impact on inflation or deflation?
So the thing is, we've been through a long period in which tariffs were going down. Remember, since World War II, really, it's been a process of lowering tariffs globally. So there just isn't a lot of modern learning on that. I think people look at the incidence of tariffs during the president's first term, but those were like 1/6 the size of what's people are estimating now. And they do find some effects on inflation. But remember, in 2019, when those tariffs were put into place, the economy was slowing. We actually cut rates 3 times. Inflation was running at 1.5%. So it was a very different time. This is different. I think one of the reasons why it's so challenging is that there really isn't a modern precedent. Yeah. And I think we have to be humble about our estimates. And we are very open to the possibility that transmission through into inflation will be less than we think, or maybe more than we think, which is why we're in a position of wanting to take our time and make a smart decision as we see how this unfolds.
If they absorb it, profits tank. Either way, you pay. Let's say we pursue reciprocity. Lower tariffs on both sides to 0. Wouldn't that supercharge the economy? That's when Powell gave the nod. Yes, he said, that kind of deal could make our economy roar. No hesitation, no dancing around. That's the future we should be pushing for. Not trade wars, not economic confusion, real leadership, real strategy.
Obviously, the size of the tariffs makes a difference, does it not?
It does.
And we don't know yet the size of the tariffs.
We don't. And we don't have a view on any of the merits at all. That's not our job. Our job is inflation, as you know, and maximum employment.
will it also matter, let's assume that there is upward price pressure, would it matter how much businesses decide to pass on versus just eat? Does that make sense?
Yes, that matters. That is what matters. The question is, who's going to pay for the tariffs? Originally, it's the importer, but it gets passed along.
If the president's trade negotiators pursue reciprocity, which I define as both sides reducing, in a quid pro quo, reducing tariffs and trade barriers as much as possible. Ideally, in a perfect world, we would end up with two sides with zero tariffs and zero trade barriers. Would that be inflationary?
No, not at all.
That would cause the economy to roar, wouldn't it?
I think it would be.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I appreciate your endorsement, Mr. Chairman, of the reconciliation bill.
I appreciate your endorsement, Mr. Chairman, of the reconciliation bill. Was that sarcasm? Maybe. Was it a mic drop? Absolutely. The truth is, Powell wasn't just answering my questions, he was exposing just how uncertain things are behind closed doors. From inflation forecasting to dollar dominance, nothing's as solid as it seems. If today's hearing proved anything, it's this. We can't afford to sleepwalk through economic policy. The stakes are too high, so stay informed, stay sharp, and stay with us as we bring you more no-nonsense coverage from the Hill. And before you go, don't forget to click subscribe and tap the bell. We break it down so you don't get broken by it. Thanks for watching. Stay bold, stay free.